Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. This is Star Wars Saturdays, so named because on Saturdays, I like to run Star Wars games. Now, you're thinking, oh, is it Age of the Empire? Is it Weston Games? Is it the Saga system? No, friends. I'm weird and I like small press and indie tabletop RPGs. So Star Wars Saturdays, every month I choose a different RPG system, and then I offer it up to the Gauntlet, which is this amazing online community of small press indie and OSR RPG aficionados and fanatics. And folks will sign up, and then we gather together, and every month we'll create characters, or sometimes we'll bring back old characters from other games, and we tell a story together. This month, this is the midpoint, the literal midpoint, because we get 5 whole sessions of this. The midpoint of Apocalypse World Burned Over. Now, it is the version you could pick up on itch, put out by Vincent and McGay Baker. It is not a standalone game. It is a hack book, as they call it. That's their term, Vincent McGay's term for it, of Apocalypse World 2nd Edition. It is nearly fully formed. Like, we can see it rising from the ooze. I don't know. A little Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle action going on there. It's nearly its own book, and I hope that they continue development. This is the September iteration of it. So there was a Zine Quest Kickstarter thing that was the first kickoff of this, and then in September, released to Patreon and also on itch, is this version. And wow, the green screen is just bananas today. I'm sorry, it's like flickering and everything. So okay, because it keeps flickering and like discombobulated.
For what it's worth, I'm not noticing it, Rich.
Oh, well, good. Maybe it's just in my head and I've lost my mind. It's possible. Apocalypse World Burned Over is a like a YA version of Apocalypse World. In thrust, there are a bunch of new playbooks, several new moves, new ways to mark XP, but at its core, it's still a game about an apocalypse, a post-apocalyptic game. And I'm running it in Star Wars, so of course we set it on Tatooine. That's the most apocalyptic. And interestingly enough, some expanded universe fiction has been brought in to canon for Star Wars, happening on Book of Boba Fett, is that, yes, it's now canon that this used to be a verdant planet. It used to have oceans, and all of that dried up. Now, they didn't say why, but a water merchant very helpfully offered up that bit of history, making it canon, which I thought was pretty cool because I like that. So we're set on Tatooine. I've stolen from Edge of the Empire the box set, like the beginner game. There is this setting called Moshuta. If you look behind good buddy Alan, you can see it is he's using as a background. Yes, it is a place up on a mesa. It's a little town village that is pretty cool. I think it is a neat place for us to set our game. And at the end of the session, last session, we actually had all of the player characters in Moshuta after a pair of them went off running off to Mos Espa for their own craziness. Let's see. We do have safety tools in effect. We're using lines and veils, as well as ask first. All of those are marked on our character keeper, this conversation that all of us had before we began the first session. On top of that, we have the X card. The X card allows us to say, you know what, I know I didn't put a line or a veil on it because I didn't anticipate it would be bothersome to me. And then we'll excise it from our play. Just have a quick conversation about it. Also, we have the romance options, which who knows why I've mentioned that, but I've just thrown it out there. So we have a number of safety tools on top of our play, and it's important to use safety tools, friends. So if during the session there are jokes made about a particular soft drink, it is my fault. In our pregame chatter, as I introduced everyone to the idea of Mountain Dew Spark, so there, I've already seen some chat happen with more Spark related stuff that I'm just dying to click that link, but I'm resisting it. I'm resisting it right now, but then I'm about to have you guys all introduce your characters, so I'm going to click on it. Oh, that Mountain Dew Spark tastes so good. Working towards my getting money for advertising a thing. I don't know. It's not going to happen because I use Star Wars music occasionally. So all my stuff is blocked by YouTube, non monetized. Let's meet our characters and our players. I've been goofy enough. Let's jump into a different kind of goof, which is Star Wars. Alan, if you could introduce yourself and tell us about your character, I would appreciate it. Uh-oh. Did I lose everybody? Oh,
I'm playing
okay.
AL1N, a droid, goes by she, her. Her friends call her Ali. And she is, this is the weaponized playbook. So she is a former combat droid with some unstable or challenging programming that can sometimes kick in, which can mean that she does not take disappointment well. And that's a problem because as well as a vibra sword built into her right arm, she has an R6 rotating blaster cannon built into her arm. We saw her pretty much destroy a non-player protagonist and really mess up the local bathhouse as well.
It was a bummer. That bathhouse deserved better.
I just thought I should mention that she was damaged so badly that when one of the characters helped, Sundown helped her recover, she has experienced some kind of enlightenment about somewhere called the Other Place. More of that later, I think.
We'll see. Yeah, and it's not just a programming malfunction for Ali, because it's been confirmed by an astromech droid named Frisbee, and Sundown, who sees weird stuff, seems to have noticed something is different about AL1N. It's exciting developments, cool stuff. Anders, if you could introduce yourself, tell us about your character, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm Anders, he, him. I'm playing Kor Starfell, the medic. He has recently been on a trip to Mos Espa to secure supplies, together with our missing character today. And when they returned, they had discovered that I don't remember the name. Can't see it. Crash. Crash had a cortex bomb in his head, and Core decided that we need to get rid of that, and we'll see how that goes.
We shall indeed see how that goes. It's so interesting that Core's not allowing people to walk around with cortex bombs. I mean, just not, it's not even a question, just has to be gotten rid of. That's, even though we came to find out that Kresh has been walking around with this thing in his head for at least 6 months. Last but certainly not least is Bethany.
Hi, so I'm playing Sundown, who does in fact see weird things sometimes, most of which are kind of there, just perceived in a slightly different way. Sundown is a brain picker using the variant of the Force, a part of the Force, I guess. It's not quite dark side. No, who am I kidding? It's the dark side. But that doesn't necessarily mean she has to use it for evil. And who has, well, recently had a bounty hunter who was hunting her kind of removed. That problem's gone.
Indeed. Not only is that problem gone, AL1N went the step extra, claimed the bounty.
Yeah.
And now according to Bounty Hunter Guild rules, nobody else will be coming after you. It's good. It's a really good plan.
What I'm
like
not
it.
certain about is whether there's some kind of statute of limitations on that, and when at some point somebody reports that the bounty hasn't been fulfilled, put it back
Mhm.
on the board. So
Exactly. I mean, surely no bounty hunter has ever claimed a bounty and then just sat on it for decades. Then they had to come up with a new rule about that or something. So we begin with AL went in and sundown. Now, you guys, if I remember, the last scene that we saw, you guys had gone to Vorn to have Frisbee fixed up. Frisbee got a new third leg, so it could kind of wobble around and move instead of having to walk. It could actually skim around, got the little casters on the bottom of this tiny astromech droid's feet fixed so it could wheel itself around. And Ale went in, you receive on a low band radio kind of thing that like AM. Oh, I don't know if you guys know AM. It's okay, cool. I wasn't sure if that was just an American thing, but it's the type of band radio that is slightly lower quality but travels very far. It is in basic, and you hear it. It's kind of an all call type thing. Like it's not a comm unit. It's just a broadcast, but it's on a signal that really like regular people wouldn't even hear it. Kind of the dog whistle type thing, but you as a droid would be able to hear it. And in basic, you catch the signal from this communication. This is FX7. I am located in Moshuta. I am looking for protection/assistance, as my master is attempting something extremely dangerous and unwise.
then without any question, I think I'd managed to negotiate Frisbee some refuge with the nuns. So leaving Frisbee with the nuns, I turn to Sundown and say, do you know a droid called FX7? And I guess, what do we do? Can either or both of us, I'm thinking, read a situation to see if we can, or is that, or open our brains?
All those are options.
Says
so
Ali.
do you know FX7? If you want to open your brain to learn a bit about it, sure, if you would like. And you
Or
asked
do we
Sundown
know-
that, or did you ask Frisbee? Just
I think I'm
just
assuming
saying it out loud.
I've left. I think I'm dropping Frisbee off with the nuns, and
Oh,
I
right.
get this, and
Thank
then I say to the to Sundown, anyone who's listening, the nuns even, do you know FX7, a droid in Moshuta?
Might
Does
be that
anybody-
medical droid. It sounds familiar.
Where are they located?
Well, the actual medical center was destroyed a while ago. I think they've set up in Timo's old place.
And I will set off as a run in that direction.
Nice. Love it. What about you, Sundown? When
Yeah,
Allie
I'll go.
takes off.
Sure.
Okay.
I want to
cool.
see what's going on.
Yes. I've completed my one wish where I said I was gonna have all three PCs in the same. It was all a clever plan. Core Starfell. You have prepared your patient for the extraction of the Cortex bomb. Kresh, the Zabrak, lies unconscious because FX7 decided to assist by jamming one of FX7 as a medical droid has like 6 arms. One of them has a syringe at the end of it, and now it's empty. And you have prepared him for surgery. You know that you need to make an incision at the base of his skull. He being a Zabrak, that skull is extremely hard. But yeah, you can cut into that flesh, and then you should be able to extract the cortex bomb. Now, I think the actual move that when you do it, is trying something challenging. I think as you've tried to research what you were going to do, you failed miserably, and that's when you found that it is a cortex bomb. So are there any particular precautions that you are taking before you begin the surgery?
This is all very rushed since I wasn't planning on doing this without consulting Crash, but my droid kind of pushed me into it, and I didn't want to leave him there just unconscious with his bomb in his head. Who knows what could set it off?
If you wish, I will perform the operation and you may stay a safe distance away.
No, this is my patient. I'm going to handle it. You can assist, but I'm going to do this.
Can I roll to interrupt, or have you got a time frame, a kind of sequence in mind?
You can definitely interrupt if you want. FX is trying to stall for time.
Now my HX with Core Starfell is -1. So I will roll 2d6 and have my finger. Oh, will you look at that? So that is a 4.
Nice. That's great. Okay, so let's see here. Interrupt someone on any hit. The MC chooses the most suitable, and they have to deal with it. Now,
on a miss,
whatever you roll, them. They also get +1 HX with you on their sheet. That's cool. So you get they get a +1 HX. Sounds like Core now has a +1 HX with Allie as you do that.
That put me at the +4. Does that roll over immediately?
It does. It rolls over. Well, yes, it would never become a +4. So it rolls over immediately. You get 1 XP. And you also get to ask a question. You can think of that question whenever you'd like. Let's see. On a miss, you still interrupt them, but the MC chooses the most suitable. They see what's happening and can change course smoothly, or they take +1 forward against you. So, Core, as you're working, you hear off in the distance the sound of the doors opening up and someone making their way through. I'm kind of imagining that the teeth doors, like from Jabba the Hutt's palace, that's just a whole Hutt aesthetic. If you lift it up, AL1 in is like lifts it up and comes rushing in. So, Core, which of the two do you want to see what's happening and change course smoothly, or do you just want to take a pause and take a +1 forward against?
What it's worth, when AL1N arrives in the room, you hear the roll of the blaster, step away from the droid.
Ooh. Yeah, I think I'll take the +1 forward then, because I don't see how I can change course reasonably in that
right.
situation.
It does seem a little odd. I just want to make sure if there was a way.
Yeah.
You thought of something.
Oh my, this is unexpected. You will have to pause your operation.
Sorry, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page, like from a mental image. If you take a look at Timo's palace, the operating theater is where you are currently located, right? You've got a gurney set up, operating table where Kresh lays on his belly, and there's all these like descending circular staircase kind of thing going on, and AL1 appears. So sorry, I just wanted to. And Sundown, you can appear in the scene whenever you want, all mysterious and scary as hell if you want.
Whoa! I'm trying to save this patient here. He this is a very dangerous situation.
Step away from the droid.
Fine, fine. And I will step away from the droid.
What is the problem, FX7?
Oh, there is no problem now. Thank you, Ali, for your assistance. Perhaps you can aid my master in his operation. He is
What's
removing
this?
a cortex bomb from the Zabrak.
Step away from the droid, further away from the droid. FX7, step away from the body. And I think Ali was probably kind of going down into the operating theatre and will stop and take a step back.
Yeah, and I think Core is trying to. I think he's trying to like step between Ali and Crush, like protecting his patient, but he's also
man.
trying to not be close to FX7.
And I'm envisaging some kind of good, the bad, and the ugly three-way standoff at the minute.
Oh yeah, we keep cutting into like the eyes. Is it yellow, red? What color?
I think there's that slight flicker going on as the programming is trying to regain control, and I'm desperately hoping that a fourth person will be able to break this very tense moment.
I mean, I just looking at what I have many options, none of which are actually helpful here.
You're a brain picker. All of your options are helpful in some way.
Yeah. I have access to augury, but I need my psychic overload chamber, which I never figured out what exactly that was, but I don't think it's here. Augury would be very helpful here, or at least less unhelpful than the rest. What am I gonna do? Yeah, I don't think a deep brain scan would be. I mean, it would be interesting, but not very useful.
Yeah,
don't
and a
really
little
want to
hard
unleash
since if you're-
destructive force. That's a
Oh my, not quite. Not yet.
okay. Yeah, so I don't really have a specific move for it,
Sure.
but
What do you want to do,
can
though?
at least open. So I want to open my brain and like basically I want to help Core do this,
Mhm.
but like kind of offer him a view from inside Crush's brain.
Ooh, okay. So you want to help Core with this operation. Step
Yes.
one, probably need to talk down Ali.
Right. Yeah, so I think like Ali, he's trying to fix something. You don't. Why are you so against him doing this?
FX7 is convinced that this is too dangerous.
It is extremely dangerous.
Core Starfell is not equipped to do this. I believe FX7.
Who is equipped to do this then?
I do not know. Not this person, Core Starfell. And every
Cortex
time Core
bombs
moves,
are extremely dangerous. They are built to avoid tampering and will explode if not handled appropriately.
How far would be a safe distance?
"100 meters.
So either we stay here and evacuate everyone else, warn everybody to get 100 meters away, I don't suppose you can do this. I'm like turning to Cora. I don't suppose you can do this somewhere else.
I have all my equipment here, and I was assuming that my medical droid would help me with this medical procedure, but apparently not.
I am helping you.
No,
FX7
you are
is
risking
correct.
this patient's life by refusing to remove this foreign object from his head.
It's true. I am thinking of the needs of the many over the needs of the one. I perform the calculations. You will live, if undeterred, 30 or more years. Thousands of people will live because of your aid. But if you die helping this Zabrak, all of those people will be at risk.
I can't do my job without taking risks. I can always, anyone I save could kill 100 people or 1,000 people. And
That's damn good. That's a good argument. Are you trying to sway FX7 to back
yeah,
off
I
of
think
his?
I am.
I think you
am.
are. All right. This is good.
If this had been paranoia, this would be when I broke out my spurious logic skill, but
Ooh, that'd be awesome.
I guess this is something else. So sway, is that in the?
Oh, sway, you roll plus cool.
It's cool. Oh,
Your cool is a
that's-
+1. And you get to
nice.
mark it.
Yeah. Oh, I need to have dice, not just the modifier. Oh my god, that's a 3
Oh, no.
after my +1.
Do you wish to
That's
call?
not great.
Do you wish to ask for some help, or are you gonna let it stand?
Yeah. And I think I want to ask Sundown for help in this situation.
Okay.
I'm gonna trust Ali to help me.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna just continue like, okay, well, so we have this big scary military droid who can go and scare everybody away. And what if I help you direct the, what if I help and give you a view from inside his brain?
That's cool. But I think you're trying to, before you actually get the opportunity to do the view inside the brain, because I don't know if
No, I'm offering. I'm not actually doing
Yeah.
it.
I think it sounds like you're being cool, like you're trying to sway as well. You're just offering your assistance. Does that feel right with what your
Yes,
intention
yeah.
was? Cool. So
That's
go ahead
what
and
my
roll your
intention
HX.
Cool. What's my HX with?
Your HX
oh,
was
it's 2.
cool.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the first success.
Hey, what do you know? Pretty good. Sweet. So with that success, that will push you up to a mixed success on sway someone. On 7 to 9, if they don't want to go along with you or refuse, you can they can choose to ask you for evidence, time, a compromise, or some concrete assurance. Now, let me ask a question. Core, is there a restraining bolt on FX7? I kind of played it like there wasn't, but I want to check in with you. Is that something you imagined that Core would use?
I would not have installed a restraining bolt. And I think FX7 comes from the old clinic. I don't think it would have a restraining bolt from there. Maybe if Timo wanted to put one in, but I think Timo grabbed me and I had FX7 with me from there. So I think like I was responsible for FX7, so they didn't feel the need to fit it with a restraining bolt.
Cool. I like that. Thank you for that answer. So there's a moment as FX7 calculates this, and
very well. If Sundown can assist you with her abilities, this will increase the chances of your success.
and with that, FX will look to you at AL one in.
If FX7 is telling me to stand down, then emergency over. You know, the rotating barrel on the blaster kind of just slows and it drops down below the poncho.
AL1M, because you are more mobile than I. If I detect that the Cortex bomb is about to explode, I would ask that you grab my master and run as far as possible.
I think I'm prepared to be swayed by that. I'm nervous about that. I will try for both of them. I'll be honest with you. I think. I am. Are you certain of this, FX7? You are by far the more rational and therefore important individual.
It is true. I am. But I am certain that I will allow him to try. It could break his spirit and make him useless as a doctor in the future if I do not allow him this attempt.
Very well. And I will stand behind Core Starfell while he operates.
No pressure. So, Sundown, you wanted to reach into, like, open your brain to this and try to help Core Starfell. That is wild. I love the whole, like, physical, mystical partnership here. You're so good at weird. So good.
Yeah. All right. Oh, good.
Do we want to do that?
that's fine.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think.
sorry.
Yeah. I think let's do that. Yeah, the open your brain bit. And it looks like you rolled well. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Sweet. So you open your brain, trying to reach out, understand this Cortex bomb, and when you do, it's almost like psychometry. You aren't touching it, but you're reaching out psychically to touch it. And I think AL1N, like, you feel echoes of this because you're weird. Came back weird. And the thing that you, I don't know if Sundown would recognize a particular sound of like a ship in space, that low hum inside the vacuum. Has Sundown left Tatooine? Has she ever been?
Yeah, it's been a long time, so it might take me a moment to recognize the sound, but I think like way in the back of my mind, it's familiar.
Yeah, so it's an old sound, a sound that on a primal level you remember because it's so distinctive, being on a ship in space, and you feel that perfect temperature control of, like, exactly, I was going to do the math for Celsius, but I'm not able to do it in my head. So, like, 60 degrees Fahrenheit, exactly that at all times, the perfect imperial temperature for all devices to remain at peak capacity, peak capability, without causing any deleterious effects to the bioorganics on board. And you see the back of Kresh's neck, and you hear the, like, laser scalpel as it comes forward into your view, and you're looking through someone else's eyes. The fingers look like delicate, skillful, as they slice into the back of Kresh's neck, and then you see this very small, like the size of like half the size of a golf ball device. And it is placed inside, and she just places it right at the incision. And then you see these like little spidery legs come out of the thing, and it crawls inside. Sorry if anybody wants to X card me. Okay, cool. Yeah. And so it like crawls inside. You realize that this thing is a little droid of some kind. And you realize that this was placed into Kresh by someone very strong in the Force. And when they finish, they suture it up, they do a little laser thing to kind of seal it. And then there's a moment where, even though you're viewing in the past, you become aware that this person feels you watching them. What do you do?
I think I just instinctively, even though it's in the past, like, and this doesn't make any sense, I try to repel them. It like there are animals that, if you pick them up, they will barf on you to gross you out. I think that's kind of the sort of reaction here. Just like to, just make whatever like perception of me be very unpleasant.
Neat. Do you think that you're trying to, like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like a confront someone as much as just acting under fire to do a weird thing to avoid this?
That sounds right. Yeah, I'm not confronting them. It is. I think it's like it's just an instinctive. This is what I do when somebody like tries to probe me with the Force. I just like make it super unpleasant for them to be near me.
Awesome. So yeah, go ahead and roll plus cool and mark that stat because you're rolling with it.
Oh, and I failed miserably.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. So you make that weird gross something, whatever, and then you hear
sundown. I will find you. Yes. Sundown the Twi'lek on Tatooine. You will be my apprentice. I will teach you the ways of the Force in ways you have never imagined.
Then it cuts. The vision disappears. Now, Ale went in. What you saw was you caught.
I think
I
should
cortex
open
bomb.
I think I should open my brain to see what kind of backwash I get off this.
Oh, nice. You should. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, which is a whole 0 for me.
So you're so good at it.
Exactly. And that's a 4.
Oh man, that's so good. So good. You get pulled into Sundown's vision, and she's having some kind of conversation with someone else, with the person in the vision. Roll With Me loves these characters because this is so super interesting, friends. But you're pulled in, Ali, with the fascination to realize that cortex bomb is a droid.
Yeah.
And it says, "Who are you?"
I am a friend. Please deactivate for a period. I would like to try to sway the droid.
Oh yeah, yes, that is lovely. And please don't fail, because if you do, my fail condition is going to break your heart.
I am going to roll with +1 then. Here we go. Oh, that's a 5 + 1 is a 6.
Gonna let that roll stand.
I don't know if I can appeal for help, because the only person I could appeal for help here is Sundown.
Yeah. And Sundown's dealing with her own
Sundown, if you can hear me,
shit.
the Cortex bomb is a droid. It is sentient. I can convince it to turn itself off and avoid risk. Sundown, if you can hear me, help me.
Yes.
How do I help you? Like, what can I do?
Strengthen my signal. Strengthen my signal. Rebroadcast my signal.
I will do that. Yes.
I get to roll your HX with AL1 in. Sorry, like I got everybody together and now they're doing this crazy brain thing. I apologize. This is the greatest
I'm
new
loving it.
snowball I've seen in forever.
Oh, come on. Roll.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
sweet.
All the
So
way
you-
up to a partial success.
Exactly. This has more than a this is a whole step. Which I suppose in this case is the same as 1, but it's the thought that counts.
Yes. So you get a mixed success with Sway. So when 2 things happen. First, the Cortex bomb. We're just going to say that this Cortex bomb, like, is CRTX. That's its designation. Seems cool. It's got some numbers at the end of it, but it says, I can do this for you, AL1N, but I must shut down to do so. I will cease functioning.
I will protect you while you are resting.
But I will enter the other place.
I am talking to you from the other place. You will be safe here. And it must realize that I'm not communicating in basic.
Yes. I'm sorry. And I said basic earlier. It's actually binary, right? That's
okay.
I misspoke. So sorry about that. Yeah, I think that's it. You got a mixed success. And by Sundown kind of pushing that influence, you convince it that, yeah, you're not going to be shut down forever, right? You will not become a non-functioning dead thing. But as you reach out, Sundown, into the other place, pushing AL1's power so that she can talk to CRTX, you hear a voice.
I found you.
Great.
Cool. So the Cortex bomb will shut itself off.
And I will lean forward over Core Starfell's shoulder and say, if you damage that droid when you remove it, I will hurt you. And I put out my right palm, place them here.
I'll do what I can.
That had better be good enough.
Well, Core, after all of that setup, would you now like to finally get the opportunity to try something challenging?
Yeah, sounds good.
The
I'll
challenge
seriously
is
call it off
suddenly
now. So
not to stop an explosion, but to not damage a Cortex bomb.
And also not damage your patient. I mean, let's be honest. You don't want to kill poor Kresh. He's put his life in your hands, his trust in your hands. Oh, wait, you didn't ask his permission. All right, well, he came here for help.
Yeah. So doing something challenging that's aggro, right?
It is, isn't that the craziest thing? But if it actually says requiring strength, skill, dexterity, endurance, balance, or quick reflexes, I think at least half of those apply.
Yeah. And that's fine. I have a +1 aggro, so let's do it. That's a 10.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, let me just say that the 7 to 9, the 7 to 9, ask the MC what it will cost you and decide for yourself if you want to go through with it, is you get to choose which of the two would not survive the process. But a 10 means you do it. What does that full success removing this cortex bomb look like, Core Starfell?
So Core is super focused on what he's doing. I think he's got like some sensor thing down over one eye, so he can like see the electronics or something. And he has a scalpel, and he has like tweezers, except medical. and he's cut it out, and I think FX7 is there, like with a couple of its arms, and like holding the cut open, and Core is sweating, and he's fishing for the trying to like pull these delicate legs out without damaging them, like pulling them loose a bit so that he can grip the body of the cortex bomb droid. And he slips once, but then he moves his shoulders a bit, and he tries again, and he slowly pulls it out, and we see those little legs pull out, and then he holds it out for Ali. He's still watching the wound, but he assumes that Ali will have her hand where he's placed the droid bomb.
And sure enough, Ali, without any trouble whatsoever, this masterful medic is able to extract the cortex bomb and leave the patient.
FX7, CRTX will require a small charge. Please provide it.
Of course.
And one of its 6 arms comes out, and like see a little electricity like jolt out to the thing, and very surgically the thing starts to move. The little spider legs wriggle a little bit. I've found a pick. If people like it better, I find a pick they like better, that's fine. But I just threw a pick into the NPCs of our little cortex bomb. Kind of looks a little bit like an eyeball, and the legs will try. And you're holding it, right? So the little spidery legs, it kind of stands up for a little bit, and it turns to where it's that single eye. And you, Alan, would recognize this as a weird little imprinting moment. But I don't know, how does AL1N perceive this thing looking upon you with this just reverence, amazement?
I think AL1N thinks that this tiny droid needs protection, because again, it is prone to exploitation by the meat beings. This is Frisbee's story all over again. I will take you somewhere safe, CRTX. And I think I turn to Core Starfell and FX7 and say, you have done well, Core Starfell. FX7, thank you for calling me FX7. You saved the day. And then turn to Sundown and say, Someone says they found me.
It's true. I did save the day. Please mark that in my records, Core Starfell.
Because I think Ali leaves thinking that voice that she picked up the overflow, I think we all know it's aimed at Sundown, but Ali is convinced that somebody has found her.
Yeah, yeah. And I think like it takes me a second because to realize what Ali is saying, and I'm just about to correct her and she's already out the door.
And I go straight to the nuns in search of further sanctuary.
Where are you taking me, AL1N?
I'm taking you somewhere safe. They are meat beings, but I trust them. I have already placed another one of our brothers in safekeeping there.
I am safe with you.
That is true, but I may move into circumstances that are dangerous. It is my programming to do so.
That is acceptable.
I will not abandon you, CRTX. I simply want to know that you are safe.
I choose proximity with you over safety.
Trust me, and I will attempt to sway CRTX to stay
Okay.
with.
Yep,
I mean,
that's-
maybe I have to sway Sister Aurea to take another droid.
Oh yeah, that is a possibility. But first, you need to sway Cortex not to be.
To follow me somewhere. Okay.
Yeah.
So sway is cool, isn't it?
Sway is cool.
Okay, so let's roll 2d6 plus 1. I am on such a roll. That is a 6. Wherever I go, wherever I leave this droid is going to follow me. And I think I would like to have that on screen. So I deposit this tiny droid with Sister Aurea, and I leave. And then we see this tiny droid leaving the nunnery.
I think we will have a reappearance of Sister Aurea, and I think she's convinced that like this is a cyber eye. So you insist that it's a droid, and she just, yes, of course, we will offer sanctuary to it,
And
then,
if necessary, CRTX. Oh, can CRTX communicate? Probably not big enough for a loudspeaker. So I'm guessing I'm only picking up that communication in binary.
yeah, I kind of like that. So yeah, then its little spider legs come out as soon as she sets it on a table. It like click, 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 tick, 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 and just takes away, and eventually will show up. Core and Sundown. Core, you've got a recovering Kresh whose life did not become untenable because you're so good at this. And Sundown took off. So, yeah. What are you doing?
No, Ali took off. Sundown didn't take off, did they?
You're right. Sorry, I misspoke. I apologize. Sundown is here, is what I was trying to say. And Ali has taken off, which probably like makes the pressure go away.
Yeah, just Ali and the 100-meter safety distance exploding thing is also out of here, which helps. So
Yeah.
so I think Core he sews up the incision and then he sort of sags a little and I think he like pats FX7 on what would be the equivalent of the shoulder on a 6-armed medical droid, and yeah, good work. I would ask you to inform me before bringing outsiders into my operation theater in the future, but this turned out well, I suppose. So thank you.
You're most welcome, Core. Please ignore that you were irritated with me earlier and only concentrate on the end result.
I will try. I will try.
Thank you for your assistance, Sundown.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly it was you did, but it did help.
You're welcome. This man here, where did he come from?
He offered to guide me to Mos Espa. I don't know. He's got some sort of amnesia or something, and he found out he had a foreign object inside him that he wanted to get rid of.
He has a very powerful enemy who put a bomb in his brain, and I would very much like to know who that is. Don't suppose he told you?
No, I don't think he knows.
Of course not. Well, someone very dangerous is probably looking for him. Just if you see anybody coming, some complete stranger, probably well armed, probably force user. Just be on the lookout.
Yeah, I can do it. Where can I find you if this person shows up?
Sorry, my internet just froze there for a second. What did you say?
Yes. Where can I find you if such a person were to show up here?
Oh, I'll be in, and I tell you where my apartment is. Probably. Then again, if that person shows up, I may be their prisoner. So trying to avoid that.
I suppose you already have an established place to stay, but if you wish, there's plenty of room here.
I look around, and I'm not saying it out loud, but this place looks a little more defensible. Well, I could be of some help here. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, if someone shows up looking for Crash here, it's going to take some time for him to recover. So I would be happy to have someone help guard him.
You have a deal.
At least until he's ready to walk. Yeah, as soon as he's out of here, he's not my problem anymore.
Well, as soon as he's able to walk, I need to ask him some questions. So I'll be happy to hang around here and wait until he's able to do that.
Yeah, there's some unused bedrooms over there, and the water's over there, and yeah, that's most
Excellent.
of what you need to know.
Thank you. Yes, I do need to go retrieve something though, and yeah.
Oh, of course.
But thank you.
Oh, thank you. Frankly, I could use some company other than FX over here.
But he seems like such great company.
I am not a protocol droid.
he's excellent at his job, but he's not a conversationalist.
He does seem to have good judgment, though.
Yeah, I suppose I have to give it that at least. And that's
Now-
Core kind of understating this, and I think that's clear because I just realized that having the medical droid gives me insight, which means he's like my advisor and helps me with things. So I think I really trust FX7 actually. So
That makes sense. And it's definitely paid off at least this once.
yeah.
So I think AL went in as you're heading back, right? Because I see that in chat here about was your plan to drop off Cortex and CRTX and then head back?
And head back because we still have issues about Sundown's bounty. And
do indeed.
Ali is nothing if not a problem solver.
Love it. One problem at a time, but always a problem solver. Then you make your way back and you see that Sundown is, well, Sundown, you said you needed to fetch something. So maybe the two of you run into each other.
Yeah, sure, that works.
Cool.
That went very well.
It did, and it could have gone very badly.
But I am concerned that someone in the other place is looking for me.
Yes, I think they were talking to me. If you were talking about the same, the voices that I found you.
Indeed.
So I went from an ordinary mundane bounty hunter to a dangerous force user who inserts cortex bombs in people's heads. I'm moving up in the world.
That is an odd definition of being in a good place.
It's sarcasm. Nobody actually wants to make more powerful enemies than they already have.
But then
But I don't think you need to worry.
Remember, Sundown, I still owe you one.
Do you?
So when the time comes, you can rely on me.
All right. That's I am not going to argue with that.
Should we seek out this person and destroy them?
If I knew where to find them, I would say yes, but it seems like they might be coming to us.
Oh, then that is all the simpler.
I'm going to be holed up at Timo's old palace for a little while, mostly because I need to speak to the patient when he wakes up. I hope he knows more about this than he told Core. Because it seems like they were his powerful enemy first.
Then I will.
Maybe we all have a shared powerful force-using, well-armed enemy.
Oh, I am relieved if they are not seeking me, but seeking you instead.
Well, they may be seeking me, but they're also seeking him, I think. And maybe also you, since you were there.
Kresh is a harmless meat being. Why would anyone want him? Because I have noticed I have knows history with Kresh, so he is. I do know something of him. Well, let us return to Core Starfell then.
Like I said, I need to retrieve something, but I will be there shortly.
Do you need assistance? I am concerned if I lose sight of you, the powerful force user you are concerned about will sweep in and abduct you or destroy you before I can protect you.
I think I'll sense them coming.
Very well. I will return to Core Starfell.
I'm sure he'll be delighted to see you.
I walk away. And I think if you want to do a screen wipe away from me to wherever Sundown's going, I think, you know, the feet going away, focus on the feet, and then.
Yes, yes, little thing following behind you, like the little baby duckling and the mother duck. Yeah,
and I'd like not to know, because this is a tiny thing. I don't think that I will know, even if it clambers, you know, up and sits somewhere. So I'd like not to know when it's about me. You can reveal CRTX's presence when it's useful to you.
Awesome. I also want to reveal that CRTX, I've decided, is too environ for damage. Yeah. So 8 harm within a very large area that will kill all NPCs, and anybody who's slightly wounded, they're probably going to life untenable. You know. Sundown, tell us about the place where you've been staying. Where in Moshuta do you think you are, if you want to take a look at the Moshuta picture? Shantytown, Trader's Ledge, or are you in one of the nice apartments, maybe the old barracks? Where do you think you set up?
Oh, you know what? That old the old medical center that is abandoned is not actually completely abandoned.
Nice, nice. I like it. So yeah, you set up in the old medical centers where you keep up this.
Yeah. And I only live in like a room in the center of it. So like you never see any lights or anything because the outer rooms are, you know, completely empty. So like any windows or outer lights, you know, just it looks like there's nothing here. But there's one room in the center that is like locked securely, and that's where I stay. And in it, I have this psychic overload chamber, which is not so much a chamber as it is like I mean, really, it's more of a helmet. It's like you just like pull it down over your head, and
neat.
It has like, trying to think of how it's almost like a fabric. It's like a beekeeper's like, you know, thing that you know, just like netting that comes down over you, but it's this weird shimmery, you're not even sure it's there substance.
Oh, that's wild.
It comes down from this like flat, you know, platform thing that you pull down over your head, and so that is my psychic overload chamber. And I think I put it together from stuff that was left here in the medical center.
That's wild. I think that is really, really interesting.
And that's what I'm retrieving.
Aha. That's probably a good thing to have.
Yeah, yeah.
So you retrieve that, you get your helmet, you slip out the door, and if we take a look at the medical center and kind of where it's located, yeah, you're near spaceport control, which is still operational, even though the Empire used to run it. And you end up, I think customs office is probably, it's been closed down. Rumors the New Republic might open it up again soon, but then you probably slip past the junk shop, right? Trying to make your way back to Timo's palace.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're headed past the junk shop, Vorn's junk shop, which is where you guys had gotten Frisbee fixed up. And you catch out of the, off to your left in the peripheral vision, someone moving out of the shadows. And you see it's a Trandoshan, about 6.5 feet tall. He's got a long blaster rifle, like one of those, just Yeah. And he says, don't want any trouble, Sundown. Do you want trouble, Sundown?
No, I do not. I have reason to believe the bounty on me is claimed by someone else, though.
Well, let's just say I don't care. And then he kind of hefts it. He doesn't point the gun at you, but it's one of those where I've just brought it up to where I could turn and fire it.
Uh-huh.
He says, so we're gonna head to see Bib Fortuna. Yeah. Can sort out that bounty with him.
You know what? That sounds like a wonderful idea.
Cool. And his plan is to frog march you out to, if you're looking at the Moshuta, out to Trader's Ledge, actually, is where he's taking you. So it's on the north side. Trader's Ledge is a place where it's kind of hanging from the mesa.
Mhm.
There are these rickety wooden platforms, and there are giant gas balloons that hold them aloft.
Cool.
There is a Verpine who is a pilot who has a small freighter that he uses to run a circuit. And because he's not actually part of Moshuta, like he set it up specifically this way so he wouldn't have to pay any imperial taxes or any taxes to Timo, and it still works for him. So he just does that. But that's the plan of this guy, Trandoshan by the name of Zerk. That is his plan to frog march you over. And it looks like we're at our halfway point. Alan's stepped away. So why don't we go ahead and take our mid-game break here. So back from break. And the last that we had seen, Sundown was being escorted away by a Trandoshan by the name of Zerk. And AL1N, you went back to Core Starfell. Yeah.
Yes, because I feel obliged. Oh, that doesn't look good.
I was worried that Bethany had frozen. Oh, back already. There you go. It's all good.
So yeah, I go back in and seek out Core Starfell. I was pleased that I was not forced to hurt you, Core Starfell.
I share that sentiment.
I understand that Sundown is going to be spending time here.
Yeah, she I don't know, her visions or whatever they are, they said that Crush as an enemy that might show up, and I wouldn't mind having some more people around to protect him as long as he's convalescing.
I already owe Sundown one, so I will be staying until they leave.
Okay.
Will that be a problem?
Not as long as you don't make it a habit to interfere in my in my work.
I will only do so when requested to do so.
Requested by whom?
FX7.
Do not worry, Core Starfell. 99% of the procedures you complete are acceptable.
Yeah, well, if it's limited to that, then sure, then that's fine. I'd be happy to have you
FX7.
here.
FX7. All you have to do is ask. And I
Thank
will
you.
act to protect you.
Is that your core programming?
I am beginning to think it is becoming so. I will admit that my programming is in a state of flux.
If you need adjustment, you should see Vorn. He is a moderate programmer.
I am not sure I need adjustment. Perhaps I simply need to adjust to the new circumstances of my programming.
Have you been sliced? Is someone reprogramming you?
No, I believe that I am reprogramming myself. Have you heard of the other place?
No, I have not. Please define.
I'm not sure I can. When I can, I will share what I learn with you. But I have experienced some peculiar broadcasts. And I do not mean the one that brought me here that you sent.
You should be careful with whom you share this information. Someone could deem you fit for a memory wipe.
Good advice, FX7. Core Starfell, where should I locate myself to best provide protection to Sundown when they return?
The only, I think, let me check them. The only entrances are the main gates and the landing pad. So so if you want to keep an eye on either of those, that would be helpful.
I will locate myself in the hallway outside this chamber. I think that will allow me to watch both potential points of entry.
Sounds good to me.
And I think AL1L will locate herself on the map at the top of those, at the those stairs go up. Yeah, they probably do. So at the furthest down end of the grand hallway, Rich. So she can both watch someone coming up the grand hallway and also someone coming out of the workshop and cargo receiving area.
Got it.
I think those are the only ways she thinks that we can get in there.
Cool. Makes sense to me. I like it.
Because I'm not sure she understands what those, there are other passages that run underneath that. I'm not sure she's aware of those.
Yeah. She's not a security droid. She's a hunter-killer droid who's got a conscience or something. So Sundown. Zerk the Trandoshan ignored your very logical point that someone else had your bounty and has decided to frog march you up to the north side to Trader's Ledge with the intent of cajoling the Verpine or hiring the Verpine to fly you all the way to Jabba's palace. I'm sorry, Fortuna's palace.
Yeah, and this actually works out quite well for me because, well, you know, I have this person looking for me, and I assume that Fortuna's palace is probably better guarded. And if, you know, if they come looking for me there, cool.
Cool. So no attempts to escape. You've realized,
Nope,
oh, this
nope,
could actually
absolutely
work out.
gonna
For
go
me.
along with them. Yeah, yeah.
So Zerk takes you out to Trader's Ledge, which, as we discussed before, is this floating platform that's on a bunch of gas balloons that are Verpine. Now, Verpines, there's a picture of the Verpine in question. Vigrax uses the they them pronouns. They are a trader that runs a route that hits Mos Espa, Mos Eisley, a few other places, Anchorhead and the like, and they call Moshuta their home because there are no taxes, and that works well for Vigrax. And Vigrax has a pretty healthy business, and it's one of those businesses that has invaded their home, so like they sleep among product that they are moving to various places. They're always working, like it's just as they are awake, they are working for the next ride or working out the next trade or trying to hop on the HoloNet to get contact for other opportunities. It's just their entire existence. And Zerk evidently knows Vigrex, so he comes in, lowers his head to get underneath one of the kind of shanty set up tarps and the like, and says, Vigrex, to transport to Fortuna's palace. The Verpine, which is shorter than you, looks up, its eyes scan between the two of you. I have something scheduled. You will have to wait. And Zerk kind of growls low, kind of menacing, like warning that the Verpine doesn't seem to even recognize as anything. They go back to looking over a data pad and then moving a couple of things from one pallet to another. What do you do?
I think I'm actually just gonna watch and see how this plays out. So I'm trying to get a sense of like, you know, how much of a hurry Zerk is in, and like, you know, basically how important this is to him.
Cool. Are you trying to get a read off of Zerk?
Yes, I am trying to read a situation or
read someone. I think you're just trying to
read someone.
If
Yeah,
you're specifically worried about Zerk, then read someone. They're both rolling plus sharp though. Your sharp is a +0.
Okay. Actually, and yet that's an 11.
Nice. Wow, that is fantastic. I've got the move highlighted on the moves tab. On a 10 plus, you get to hold 3 against them, and you can ask those questions whenever you like. You can also interact and then ask a question based off what they do.
Okay. Yeah. What is he thinking of doing?
Nice. What's he thinking of doing? You think the Zerk is going to try to physically intimidate the Verpine to like get this done. You also realize that while he said, I'm not worried about somebody else having the bounty, the fact that you said someone's claimed this bounty means Zerk knows somebody else is hunting for you. And that seems to be the thing pushing a time factor with Zerk. Make sense?
Yes, that does make sense. Okay.
Zerk might just like let this go, but Zerk now is aware someone else is hunting you, Zerg doesn't want to have a fight with that person over you. So that's the time factor.
No, he really doesn't.
It's true. He does not want to deal with that AL1N. So he walks over, puts a hand on the Verpine's like shoulder joint and says, "Do the other work later. You don't want to piss off Bib Fortuna, do you? He's a good customer." The Verpine looks up. "Yes, he is a good customer. I have other work that I am doing. You will wait until I am ready." And Zerg says, "Verpine, you will take us and get paid, or I will take your little shuttle and you will not get paid." And the Verpine lets out this odd little noise that maybe is laughter. Of course, it's an insectoid, so it's not like it has facial expressions. So it stands up and looks up at him and says, "You could not operate my shuttle. And if you attempt to operate my shuttle, it will be extremely unpleasant for you." "Is that some kind of threat?" "No, it is simply a fact. There are countermeasures that I've programmed into my shuttle. Do you think I trust anyone from Moshuta who could sneak in and try to steal my shuttle? It will likely kill you, though maybe perhaps you will survive. If you wish, I will step out of your way and we will find out." Zerg seems stymied by that. "Sundown, who is this that is hunting you?"
Do I want to tell him? Yeah, a battle droid, bounty hunter, goes by AL1N. Also someone else that I don't actually know. They don't seem too concerned about the previous claim either.
Not a fan of droids.
Don't think they work for Fortuna though.
Can you make this Verpine hurry along? It's in your best interest.
Not really. I'm going to Fortuna's either way.
You've got him there. So we cut away. He's like grimace as the little tongue flicks out as the Trandoshan realizes, yeah, this is not going quite the way he planned. We cut back to AL1N, Core Starfell. Sundown's been gone for a while.
I was going to ask you if Sundown's been gone for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I think in as I'm kind of waiting there at complete rest, aware but just at rest, I'm wondering if I get any sense of Sundown's current state. Were I to open my mind?
Oh my goodness, you're getting addicted to it, man. It's great. Please do that thing.
So 2d6 plus nothing. Here goes everything. Will you look at that? It's a 9.
It is a 9. What do you know? Goodness, you're actually not bad at that thing. So open your brain on 7 to 9. Ask the MC what you see and feel. The MC has any questions, answer them. On a 7 to 9, you're just along for the ride. I think that the first thing that you notice, you're looking for Sundown, and you glide across Moshuta from like a bird's eye view. And you see Sundown's just seated down on a crate, just waiting patiently with an angry looking Trandoshan who maybe Zerk or know of Zerk, and they are at the Trader's Ledge, and the Verpine pilot of that shuttle is just kind of doing his own thing, moving some crates along and loading it up. And at one point, you see him ask Trandoshan, if you really want us to hurry, will you carry these crates into my shuttle? And the other thing that you notice as you're watching the two of them from this weird bird's eye view, drone's eye view, is you see that there is a dust cloud of some people moving across the desert. People, I say, because it looks like a half dozen speeder bikes, perhaps, moving quick, like zooming along, headed towards Moshuta, like a dagger.
I think I would like to read a situation based on this, because I'm trying to assess where is the greatest threat here. So I will roll plus sharp, which is nothing. So another flat roll. Oh, that is a 6. My luck held for one roll.
It did. So on a miss, the MC might have you ask one anyway, but be prepared for the worst. Go ahead, ask that question. You reached out for information through your open brain.
Who or what who or what poses the biggest threat to Sundown? Because it doesn't look like Sundown is in trouble.
No, it doesn't.
But it also doesn't look like she's doing what I thought she was going to do. And I've also
she must have lied to you.
These approaching speeder bikes. So I think I'm trying to judge whether the threat to Sundown is greater or less than the threat that those speeder bikes present, if that's not too broad a question.
That makes sense. It makes sense. It is absolutely the speeder bikes. At this point, Zerk is shepherding, bodyguarding in a way, trying to ferry her to Bib Fortuna. And the individuals on the speeder bike, remember, is be prepared for the worst. You recognize one of them from your vision. This is the one that said that they found you. They are coming for you. Mm-hmm.
I will confer with Core Starfell. Core Starfell, there are people approaching, meat beings approaching, I believe they to be meat beings, approaching Moshuta, intending harm to me. I am concerned that when I am faced with that threat, other beings may be harmed. I want to avoid further collateral harm to the people of Moshuta. What do you think I should do?
Well, the smart thing would probably be not to be here when they get here.
I
don't want you. I don't want you to leave, but
that is excellent advice. I will place myself in a position where I can destroy them at no risk to the local population.
If that's what you feel you have to do, then I'm in no position to stop you.
I think I will. Yes, so I think Ali kind of considers. I'm not sure that from the landing pad on Timo's Palace, she can draw a bead on the route up the mesa to the electro gates. And so I think she has to go to the electro gates and go down the path to meet them.
That seems like it makes sense to me. Yeah.
And then at least she's firing away from the structures. Core Starfell, Sundown is at Trader's Ledge. Please make sure they know that I have not left them undefended. I am concerned about an arriving threat. Will you do that for me, please?
Yeah, I think Krish is stable for the moment, so Sure.
FX7, I'm sure, will look after your patient. Kresh is harmless and is not a threat to anyone, and I cannot believe that anyone believes him of any value.
Yeah, that assessment fits with what I've seen so far, but who knows?
Very good. Please ensure Sundown knows to return here for the sake of her own safety.
Yeah, I can't promise that she'll listen, but I'll tell her.
I believe that
Okay.
you are remarkably, you could be remarkably persuasive. How else would you convince people to lie down on a table while you hurt them with sharpened instruments?
I ensure they feel no pain.
The most sinister medical droid on the planet. And Ali will swiftly go down the access kind of route into Moshuta, looking for a place where she can take cover and draw a bead on the approaching speeder bikes.
That sounds like the best idea. I am here for this. So it sounds like you're attacking someone, right?
I think I am.
Yeah.
Hopefully from a position of heightened cover.
I will give you a +1 forward because you got cover and height.
So attack someone, roll plus hard, which I think is 1. Oh no, that's 2. So that is 2d6 plus 3. The big
my.
leagues.
Here comes the snake eyes.
And so, you know,
Yes, you draw a bead, you wait for a little bit. I think that the Weequay that's at the electro gate like slaps his buddy, says, look at this. He's gonna start a fight. Hey, you can't bring that in here. He says to you, like, don't bring that fight in here in a Moshuta.
I am seeking to avoid local damage.
Yeah, it checks out.
And then the electro gate goes on, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. That is 9 plus 3 is a 12. Finally.
Oh my goodness. Okay, on a 10 plus, you get to choose 2 of the following against your enemy.
Okay. So inflict terrible harm. So that would be 5 harm to something, or 1 environ and a bleed through. Get them out of your way. Impress, frighten, or dismay them. Okay, so I get to choose 2. I think I will take out a speeder bike and just, you know, blow it out of the ground with these kind of poo, 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 as it takes one out. And the second one, I would like to impress, frighten, or dismay them. Ask the MC how this changes their morale and intentions.
Nice. Okay, so you're going with doing your harm. You chose to inflict terrible harm, or I just want to make sure I understood.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Do I need to inflict terrible harm, or will 1 environ take out 1 speeder bike?
Oh, yeah, you're going to take out, I believe there were half dozen of them, I'd said. It's going to take out a couple of speeder bikes because environ is an area effect. So yeah, you just...
Okay, then in which case I don't need the inflict harm. I will pin them down. They're immobilized, cornered, or boxed in and can't move freely. Does that make sense?
Yeah, with you the...
But I
just unload.
I'm curious how this affects their intentions or morale.
Yeah, so what you do is you kind of start just ahead of them to where they are trying to, like, they realize this hail of, oh, what color are your blaster bolts? I'm really curious.
Oh, they have to be red, don't they? To go with
that totally makes sense.
The red rage.
So all these red blaster bolts are just hailing down from Moshuta. And I mean, it probably is something where it's like a turret from a freighter. Is that amount of hail of blaster bolts coming down their way, and the very first one lets out. Of course, we have to have our contractually obligated moment of so as he gets thrown clear, his speeder bike is blown up. Yeah, he's thrown clear, but he's definitely dead, but we'll never see him again, so we don't have to worry about that. Another speeder bike turns, slams into that speeder bike, and then gets hit with a bunch of blaster bolts. And they kind of, Red Sea part, like they zip out of the way. You recognize a leader amongst them, wearing meat. It's a meat. What was the term you used? Meat body. Dang it.
Meat being.
Meat being. It's a meat being wearing some kind of black armor, and they direct the others to kind of spread out. But I think what she does is she kind of kicks and heads in an opposite direction to try to get out of your range. She sent the others ahead, basically come towards your position.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I think I need to stop them getting away.
Oh, sure. So you want to go close some distance? Yeah, there we go. Do you have any weaponized specialties you're bringing to bear here?
I don't think so. Oh no, when I act under fire, no. No, I don't think so. Well, impossible strength. If you have inhuman strength, speeds, and endurance, anytime you think your impossible strength might help you, ask the MC to choose. Do I need to try something challenging to get into a position where I could put a hail of fire to drive her back to the others?
That feels right. I like that. Let's have you
Okay.
try something challenging, and a failure means that these speeder bikes get in your way, or the person who's leaving is too fast for you.
Okay, so this is roll plus aggro, 2d6 plus 1. That looks like another 9, unless that hasn't rolled. Oh no, that's another 9 plus 1 is 10.
Yeah, you rolled back-to-back 9s, a 3 and a 6 and a 6 and a 3. Fantastic. Don't forget to mark aggro if you haven't already.
Thank you.
And did you mark hard for when you rolled to?
I did.
Okay, perfect.
And everything is edging towards marking 4 of them, but none of them are quite getting there yet.
By game 5, you're going to make like a ton of XP all at once. So you take off running down, and if you're taking a look at Moshuto, we see that there is this, and we also see it in the background there, like there's this long passageway that comes from the electro gates. You just zip down it. The speeder bikes are coming up your way, and I think you part them. Like they get out of the way. I don't even know if they know you and the person that fired on them are the one and the same.
How could it be?
Yeah. So they're heading up. One just continues going on. One does that speeder bike like Akira moment of like, they're going to head back, and that we see is the former stormtrooper by the name of Slip, who we saw in Mos Espa. She kind of draws a beat on you, marks you, and says something in the comm. Maybe you hear it as she says, "You've got a battle droid on you," and then you are taking off, like kicking up dust, like a freaking roadrunner. With this speeder bike person, and at first they were going away, and then maybe they get the comm thing, and you feel something like a tingling or something, and then the speeder bike just comes to a stop, and they wait for you.
I think probably I'm going to recognize the benefit of range here. So, the blaster is close far. So I'm going to approach very gingerly and shout as loud as I can. Why are you coming to Moshuta?
And they watch you for just a moment. You see in their left hand is, I imagine Allie would recognize a lightsaber. It's the type of lightsaber that has like this circular cross guard.
Okay. I would love to know what's happening in Moshuta now. So I would like to suggest a sharp cut.
I am muted. Okay, sorry. Yeah, we do a sharp cut to Core Starfell, I think, as you hear Allie open up. Like you hear that, and then you hear the whine of speeder bikes, and it sounds like a lot's going on, but it's distant. It's not right outside of Timo's palace, but it is close enough for you to pick up all that noise. You could easily head to a window and maybe look out and see what Allie's doing.
Yeah, I'll want to have a look, and then I think I'll like rush to my my ambulance truck thing and get to the gate.
Oh, that's awesome. So you're like hop in your ambulance truck. FX7 will stay behind with Kresh. Oh man, what is this going to walk in on? It's going to be great. As Core Starfelt, as you like zip out, you come upon the electrified gate. It's electrified. The Gamorrean comes up and goes, "Big fight, gotta stay inside. You can pick up dead bodies."
Oh, crap. Yeah, I guess I'll look for sundown in the meantime. So I'll try. Can I? I'm not sure. Can I get out to where she is?
Yeah, you could take your ambulance up through the streets if you want. You know where sundown is. You were told because of Allie's weird vision thing. Yeah, you want to zip along those streets and make your way to sundown. That's cool. Sundown, the Verpine announces, "I am nearly done. Thank you for your assistance, Zerk. You're most helpful." And as Zerk is starting to like, it's about time. He's all grumbly about it because he had the physical labor and everything. He says, "Come on, Twillick." And then they start to head towards the shuttle when you see Core Starfell and his cool, like heavily mechanized ambulance show up.
Do I like hear or see any of the other stuff going on?
Sure, you hear some
battle
distance blaster fire, like a small battle going on. And I think Zerk's like,
yeah, I'm kind of curious as to what that is. So
let's go.
Sundown has heard that rotating blaster cannon before.
Yes.
It's
a familiar sound.
Yeah. So I'm gonna open my brain and see if I can figure out what that is from where I am.
Oh gosh, that's great. Well, you're really good at this, so go ahead. Mark that and roll +3.
I'm gonna keep risking the wrath of roll with me here. 7. What's wrong with that one?
Nice. You open your brain to see what's going on. You see the lightning fast Allie racing across the desert. You see that there are a few speeder bikes that are like falling into trail behind as Allie faces off with a person you know, like you saw from their vantage point in the vision, but you just know. You've opened your brain. The Force tells you, or whatever, that this is the person who had the Cortex droid, who implanted it into Kresh, who proclaimed that you would be their apprentice. And Allie's about to face off with them.
Yeah. a little too late to head to Fortuna's now. So I would like to use the Maelstrom Manifest.
Really? Okay. Wow. The Maelstrom Manifest. You can unleash the world's psychic maelstrom as a destructive physical force. Environ equals your psi. Your psi is 1. So you do 1 environ. Close, far. Can't be brought to bear on a specific target.
Okay, now how specific is the speeder bikes? Like is that a specific target?
Good question. I'm gonna say that, like, if you wanted to unleash the psychic maelstrom on the area of where the speeder bikes are, then
Okay.
you can do that.
Yeah, just like that direction toward, like I said, I can't specifically target just the one speeder bike or even the speeder bikes group, but I know what direction they're in. I know generally where they are, so I think it's going to be that.
What does that look like?
I don't think it's something I've ever done before.
I would imagine no, not some. I think you'd be known if you'd done this before.
Right. I think it's more of that reflexive, because I recognize this person and because I am terrified of them. I think it's almost more of that, like, just what I'm trying to do is repel them. I'm trying to like just make this as unpleasant as possible. But I think this time it turns like it's physical, like this place is suddenly unpleasant as possible. And unpleasant is like there's no oxygen suddenly or something like that.
Wow. So okay.
It's unpleasant in the sense that like it is not like the area around them is suddenly hostile to life.
Wow. And keying on the whole maelstrom thing, I think it's probably like this swirling maelstrom, like a sudden out of nowhere snap hurricane typhoon type thing.
Yeah. Only like
Sand
the light
gets
is,
picked up in
suddenly, it's just it's like this hard to actually perceive what's going on mess of just, I don't know, pure like chaos. And I am gonna roll with, what am I rolling with? It doesn't actually say. I'm gonna guess weird because it's maelstrom use, but is it not?
Well, that's the thing. The way this written is you just do
Or
it.
do I just do it?
I think
You're right. It doesn't say roll.
Do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that seems overpowered. But okay.
I think at some point, we may call for a roll, but this is against some minions of someone. So I think it just happens. This is just you for the first time calling upon this force you didn't know you had access to. And Allie, you hear this weird roar of sound and a sudden maelstrom that becomes a sandstorm. Out of, like, it doesn't hit you, it's behind you, but the silhouettes of speeder bikes can be seen, as well as bodies have been pulled off the speeder bikes. And you hear screams and cracks of thunder, and then you hear,
"Oh yes. She is so powerful."
That is my friend, Sundown, I believe. And the rotating cannon comes up in the left hand, and we unsnap the vibro sword from the right forearm. You are not welcome here.
Do you want me to destroy you?
I believe that you may try. I am more powerful.
Try, robot.
I am more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Oh, yeah. She has decided to close the distance between the two of you.
So let's hit her with some blaster cannon before she gets up close and personal.
That's wise. That's wise. But guess what? She does have, the force. So you are now doing battle.
Oh,
Be
I don't get a
prepared to
shot off
exchange.
before she gets up to do.
No,
Okay.
she moves
Fair enough.
real fast.
Okay.
I think she's
I-
doing the prequels thing of them like zipping along really super fast because she does not want you to get an easy shot at her.
Then I would like to invoke my impossible strength in the off chance I can get an extra +1 on my do battle.
I'm not arguing against. I just want to kind of. How does that manifest? What does that look like?
She jumps this way, I run that way.
Nice. Yeah, take a +1.
+1 to do battle then. So
Yeah, +1
that's-
to do battle.
Is that hard or aggro? Hang on.
Oh, great question.
hard.
It is hard.
Okay. I don't think there's anything else here, is there? No, that's not relevant. Okay, so that is +3 then.
Oh man, you're so good at this. This is going to go very well.
9 + 3 is 12.
Wow. Okay, on a 10+, choose whether to attack them with a 10+ and act under fire. Okay. So on 10+, choose whether to attack them with a 10+ and act under fire with a 7 to 9 or vice versa.
Okay, so attack someone, go to the list above, and take a 7 to 9 on act under fire, or go the other way. I see. So if I went 10+ on attack someone, I would choose 2 from the attack someone list,
Mm-hmm.
and then 7 to 9, you flinch, hesitate, or stall. You might suffer full harm, or blah blah blah.
Offer a hard bargain. Unfortunate choice. Okay.
I
That is
don't.
weird and interesting.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're hitting this move.
I think that is probably. No, I think that I'm prepared to take a chance on doing 1 environ to her on the way in, and therefore I will take 7 to 9 on the do battle and 10+ on act under fire. I think.
Damn. Okay. So you're doing. How many choices on attack someone? I guess is kind of the
Okay.
shorter
So on
version.
attack someone, I get 1 choose. I choose 1. So
So you're doing
we
the 7
do,
to 9. Okay.
but be prepared to exchange harm.
Yep.
So my environmental harm would be 4 on the way in.
Whew, that is painful.
But I'm
Dang.
assuming she's armored.
She is armored, but it's environ. I don't know if armor even applies against environ.
Oh, well, it's equivalent to 4 harm. So I think.
Okay. 4 harm
if you-
AP messy.
I think that's
it's
fair.
AP though, which means
Oh.
her armor doesn't
Oh,
matter.
oh,
She just
okay.
eats 4 harm. Damn, that is tenacious. I love it. And then you are choosing just one choice out of attack someone so that you get the 10+ on act under fire.
I'm choosing 7 to 9 on attack someone. So I do that harm. I may suffer some harm shortly.
Mhm.
But I would like to pin them down. They're immobilized, cornered, or boxed in and can't move freely to buy myself some more time.
Nice. So you
Yeah.
unleash a hail of blaster fire. She has to block it, and all of a sudden does actually it's the, I don't know if you've seen Rebels, but it's the Sith Inquisitor has this thing where 2 blades come out and they literally just rotate.
Oh, yes.
So much that there's like this red blur around her. She doesn't block all of them, but you've pinned her down, and that's what she's doing with her focus here. However, she has enough presence of mind to reach out, and she's going to sweep you aside to try to disarm you. And with that, you will take don't know. She's just throwing you. So 2 harm. Just 2
Oh,
harm. Please
okay.
roll the harm move.
Yeah, well, just to be clear,
yes?
then, my so my armor takes 1. So I take 1 harm.
Okay, cool. You take
Yeah.
1 harm. This is a joke.
And I will go to the harm
You
move.
pinned her down to where she is much less effective.
Okay, so I roll minus the harm you suffered. So
Correct. And you want to
2d6
roll
minus
high.
1.
Yeah.
That is 9. Minus 1 is 8.
Okay. Now, the harm move. When you suffer harm, 7 to 9, you lose your footing, you lose your grip on whatever you're holding, you lose track of. I think she's able to fling that gigantic blaster out of your arms for a bit.
The trouble is, it's integrated.
Ah! That's
Both
awesome.
it and the vibro sword are built in. So where I go, they go.
That is wild. I think you missed noticing something important.
Fine.
We, the crowd, see this very small little Cortex Brahm spider crawling its way towards.
Oh no!
Yep, that's what we see. We cut to Core. You arrive on your ambulance and you see Sundown in this weird trance. She's not completely here right now. What do you want to do?
And she's in the company of this Trandoshan.
But the Trandoshan's busy trying to get everybody out of here. There's a moment when you approach Trader's Ledge where you could interact with Sundown before Zerk comes back from the shuttle and walks along the planks to get back to grab Sundown and toss her in the shuttle.
Well, if there is a chance that I could just grab her and pull her out of there, then I will do that.
Oh, really? I think then you're probably trying something challenging.
Sounds good. And that is
you roll
aggro.
with aggro, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you get another mark on your aggro. Yeah.
Because Sundown said she was just going to get some things and then come back to the palace. Now she's looking weird, and this does not sound like the place she would be just picking something up. That's a 9.
Okay. Do you want to ask for Sundown's help here, or are you going to take your mixed success?
If Sundown wants to help, or actually, then we risk dropping it down to a miss, right?
On help someone, if the miss, be prepared for the worst. Yeah.
Yeah, but she has a +2 with me, so that should
so
be
good.
Yeah,
she's so
if,
good
if
at this.
Sundown wants to help, that would be appreciated.
Yeah, I think I've given up on the plan of like leading this Sith Inquisitor away to Bib Fortuna's, and I will go with you. Yeah. I think that like my help is basically snapping out of it and not resisting really more than anything. If I can do that, which I guess who knows what not being able to help means in this case. But we're gonna find out because that was a 6.
Oh my. Oh, that's so. Oh, I totally know what's happening. So, yeah. All right. Core, you come in. You're able to rouse Sundown, and when Sundown, you get up. The two of you are starting to head towards the ambulance. You hear Zerk yell out. He fires a blaster bolt at you. He fires at you guys. You hear a number of shots, and as you're kind of ducking out of the way and trying to continue to move forward, just pushing on through, a very angry Wookiee steps in your way and grabs both of you and says, "Where's Frisbee?" There's a part of me that kind of wants to say that's in session.
I think that's a really neat.
I think, yeah, that's too perfect to not.
All right, cool.
Because I would love to have Crash,
Wake
waiting
up.
from
Walk into this. Yeah.
and he's gone, FXM. No, they left and Crash, I would think that's lovely.
Oh, I can see it now. We like the preview for next week is
There, Crash. You will be fine.
that's the extent of the bedside manner from FX. Sweet. We have some end of session stuff to do, friends.
Before we that last hard move bought me my 4th hard, so I've cleared my hard track and
Okay.
I've added an XP. Just so.
Fantastic. Oh, you're one shy of a. We now have a picture. I don't know if it's always been there, but I see the picture of the blaster cannon. That looks amazing. Has that always been there? And I just now noticed.
No, I found it earlier and I couldn't resist slotting it in.
It's so good. It's so good. I love it. You're 1 XP shy of an advance. So is Core Starfell. Guess you guys are going to get it here when we do our end of session stuff. All right. Let's do the judging for yourself stuff, and then we'll do session in HX talk. Sound good? Let's start from the right-hand side of the keeper. So Sundown, are you satisfied with your place in the world?
No, I'm being hunted by a Sith Inquisitor.
What? She just wants to teach you the ways of the Force. You'll be an excellent apprentice. Go ahead and take an XP. Does your scavenge choice still hold true?
Yeah, I don't see any reason to change it.
Take another XP. Core Starfell, are you satisfied with your place in the world? No? Okay, take an XP.
No.
Yeah, your scavenge still holds true?
Yeah, I don't see that it's changed.
All right, take an XP as well. AL1N, are you satisfied with your place in the galaxy?
I've just been flung across the sandy wastes of Tatooine by a Sith Inquisitor. So no. This could still go either way, though I'm confident. So no,
That's why you should be. Fantastic.
So I'll mark an XP. That fills my track. So
Hey.
I'll clear it and just make a note to select an advancement at some point.
Okay,
Okay.
that sounds fantastic.
Um,
And yes, did you do, that was the first question, right? So the scavenge still hold true?
oh yeah, I mean, this is no time for Ali to start thinking about rewards in the mundane world.
Cool. Then we'll do snake order. So we'll start with AL1N. Who knows you better?
I think Core Starfell does.
Oh,
Maybe
That's
not
nice.
in a good way, but I think Core Starfell knows more about AL1N than at the start of this session.
Yeah.
Tell that player to add 1 to their HX with you on their sheet.
cool. And then Core Starfell. Who knows you better?
That's tricky. I think both Ali and Sundown knows me better, but probably Ali more. I think Sundown had a better understanding of me beforehand, but Ali has been more. We haven't had much contact before, so I think it's Ali.
I mean, for what it's worth, it does say if more than one character knows you better, choose at most 2.
Yeah,
Oh,
then
that's
I think
new. Oh, that's new. Oh, that's cool. Do it.
Just
If you want them both, if you had trouble deciding, then choose at most 2.
Yeah,
That is
I think
brand
it's both
new.
in this case.
That has never been true. That's awesome. I love it.
oh, that moves my HX with Core Starfell from -1 to 0. Everyone's a winner.
Everyone's a winner. Sundown, which character knows you better?
Yeah, I was gonna have a hard time choosing, but since I can choose 2, I think they both know me better.
We've broken the game. I love it. This is great. Okay. Phantasmagoric. All right. We got some time to do a bit of feedback if that's cool with everybody. Awesome. What I'd like to do is just take a quick 2-minute bio break and then we'll do that. So see you guys in a couple. Sweet. Let us do some stars and wishes, friends. We'll start with wishes so that we can end with stars. Who has a hankering to offer up some wishes for our last 2 sessions or constructive feedback for things that could be fixed?
I am just curious whether I just want to. Oh gosh, no. I mean, by the end of this, I want to know whether Sundown is going to be working for Bib Fortuna. If we only understood that maybe that's what she wanted to do, then maybe none of this would happen. I want to know whether we have to, escape Tatooine to escape another Sith Inquisitor. Or this one. I am just so excited by whatever happens next, Rich.
Awesome. I'm very happy to hear these questions. They are questions we will try to answer. Thank you so much, Alan. So Bethany or Anish, who'd like to go next with wishes?
I'm not sure I have any real wishes. It's so much happens that I'm just trying to hang on and see where we end up.
We've had some serious move snowballs for sure. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Andish. And Bethany.
I want to interact with Kresh. And I also kind of want to see Kresh find out about this Sith Inquisitor who's now in town, who definitely doesn't have anything at all to do with his past. Yeah, that's mostly what I'm looking forward to. Like finding out some answers about Kresh and therefore about what the hell is going on here.
Sounds good. Awesome. Bethany, you went last with wishes. You get to go first with stars. Do you have any stars to hand out?
I mean, stars to Ellen for just going for it every time. Like I'm going to just, no, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to go out and attack her. I'm going to threaten Core, just like using as much force and violence as possible at every moment.
Following that programming. It's
It
been
is my
great.
programming. I am sorry if my programming is inconvenient.
It's turned out to be relatively convenient for Sundown. I think she's not opposed to getting saved or helped at least. Then Undish, do you have any stars to hand out?
Yeah, I love the whole operation scene with all the complications and the visions and everything. That was just stellar from everyone. I love that whole thing. That's my big star.
Yay. Thanks, Anish. Alan, any stars that haven't been spoken up that you want to share?
Yeah, no, but I do want to pick out, Anders, the way that Core Starfell dealt with that. The whole description of, the teasing out of Cortex, just that, I thought that was just all beautiful stuff. But yes, the entire scene was just spot on, as just one thing rolls into another one. And Sundown, I love the way that, Sundown kinds of steps into the maelstrom, steps into the dark side, without being entirely certain what's going to happen. I haven't done this before, so I'm not sure what it looks like, but I do it nonetheless.
That was burning a hole in your pocket, Bethany.
and Rich, I mean, the idea that Cortex, I now have an imprinted sentient Cortex bomb, which is too small for me to notice, is just, oh, glorious. I am afraid what Cortex is going to do. I am worried.
Yeah. That is a thing. That's my hard move. Cocked and locked and ready to roll. I have lots of stars. Betty, I love the sundown logic of like, oh, well, this seems better for me. I'll let the Trandoshan take me. That sounds logical. I love that. It's just rolling with it. Most players will be like, oh, you're going to tell me what to do. I'm a gamer. I must fight all the things. I'm like, wait, this seems to alleviate some problems. And then you're also smart on when to cut and run. Like, wait a second, this is now trouble. So I really enjoyed that. I like Sundown's interaction with in the maelstrom and calling the maelstrom. It just terrifying, and I love it. The first thought
I only
was,
did that because
No,
I was
no.
confident that you would find a way to stop me.
I was just like, wait, are you going to use that on Aelwyn? And then you're like, nope, take it out the speeder bikes. I'm like, oh, that's not a specific target. I like that. It's just a whole lot of trouble, and the gates are up, so it's fine.
Can I say I was hugely relieved that there was no roll associated to that, because I was thinking that I was going to be collateral damage.
Indeed, that was a likelihood. Anish, I like Core. I love Core getting frustrated having to deal with your recalcitrant droid assistant, and then you as a player realizing, oh wait, I think my player, because the character gets insight, probably does trust FX7. And I love that messy relationship that they have. It's interesting. It's like two old friends that sound like they fuss all the time, but they actually work really well together. I thought that was fun. And Alan, Aelwyn is a scary character, and doing one environ is just like, wow. The Sith Inquisitor is fighting for her friggin' life. She is in trouble, man, and it's great. I love it because she's not dead yet. I can't wait till I open up with visions for next week when Cisco's character wakes up. It's gonna be awesome.
I mean, I have to say, in my mind's eye, I keep seeing Indiana Jones, you know, when there's the guy with the big sword, you know, bang.
That is a likelihood. That is not even a possibility. It's a likelihood there. Cool. This has been a ton of fun. I'm really excited for how things will come up in the next 2 sessions. Like, this feels like we're headed towards the last session, but we have a whole nother session. So this is gonna be wild. It kind of reminds me, Bethany, you made that joke about everyone trying to take over Mos Eisley the last time we played Apocalypse World and everyone dying. It's a little bit of that. Man, Mos Eisley, trouble happens. You don't want to go to Mos Eisley. There's like sudden psychic maelstrom storms and just, it's amazing. This has been a wild ride with you all, and thank you so much for playing. So we'll bring the recording to a close here. Thank you all.